I am once again being vindicated because everything I've been saying for years now is being revealed as having been true all along. Ubisoft developers reportedly revealed a company brushes off legitimate criticism as toxic gamer talk, and DI policies have led to brain drain. Who could have predicted this? For those of you out there who still don't understand how this works and why this is an issue, look at it this way. Imagine you've been at the company for 20 years and everything you've made has been a hit. Every game you made has gotten millions of sales, has made the company billions of dollars. And all of a sudden, just out of the blue, the company hires some useless grievance studies major fresh out of college, like 22-year-old, puts her in a position like what Nintendo was doing, some DEI and social responsibility position, the ethics department if you're at Squeenix, and gives her authority over you. So you're just there making another great game. You make an attractive female character. Like let's say this was 2017 and Nier Automata had just hit it big, and you want to capitalize on that, so you create like an even better version of 2B, and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be our next character. We're going to focus the game around her. And then suddenly that random 22-year-old that you've never even seen around pipes up. Yeah, that's unacceptable. We're going to have to change that. So you just go, who the fuck is this bitch and who does she think she is? So you pretty much then go to your boss and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Who hired that bitch? Why does she think she can tell me what to do? And then your boss is like, yeah, you're going to need to do what she says. How long would you stick around at that company? Because like to me, it depends on how financially well off I was. Under the assumption that I was releasing hit after hit for 20 years, I'd probably be able to retire. So I guess I would. I just nope out. Nope. See ya. I'm done. Either that, or if I still needed the money, I would just switch to milking paychecks. I would go from making innovative, great games out of passion to milking paychecks, because now in environments like this, passionate creators aren't allowed to create the things they want to create. So they don't have passion anymore. They literally can't do their best work anymore. So they either milk paychecks or they quit. There's really no other option. And now I'm finally being vindicated. Now we got other people talking about it. That, yeah, in environments like this, the talented people don't stick around. And this is also why I keep saying you should not feel bad when these woke corpos go out of business. Even if they used to be good, all the people that used to make them good are long gone. Stop being so attached to a husk, to an empty brand name. And don't worry about poor, innocent, talented developers being caught up either. All actual talented developers are long gone. The only people that are left at these companies are people who are just milking paychecks or people that lack talent. You shouldn't really feel too bad for either of them, really. The people who are milking paychecks will be fine. They'll find some other place to milk paychecks from. They're clearly good enough. They just don't. They don't see any reason to perform better. Yeah, the talented ones all left and formed new studios. Exactly. Just let these woke studios flop. Alleged Ubisoft developers claim the company either ignores legitimate criticism of its business practices and gamers or brushes it off as toxic gamer talk. I think we've seen so much evidence of that. Yeah, we know this is true. So they also claim that the company's DEI policies have led to a loss of talent in both technical expertise as well as creativity. Thank you for vindicating me. It's almost as if I've been talking to people in these industries all this time too. No, I can't be it. I'm not a journalist. A YouTuber Legendary Drops reports he spoke with a number of Ubisoft developers. I watched that video, by the way. That was a good video. All right, and specifically asked one how Ubisoft internalizes discussions and discusses general criticism from players and the rest of the industry, whether it's the repetitive design, agenda-driven content, or predictable games. Yeah, the way they handle the criticism is to ignore it. Yeah, we don't talk about it. If we don't see it, it's not happening. The developer responded at a high level. They rarely talk about it. At the project level, they brush it off as toxic gamer talk. As Asmongold correctly pointed out in one of his videos, Ubisoft is filled with toxic positivity that prevents growth. Yeah, imagine having to work in this environment. Like your company is about to put something out that you know is going to be a flop, and you tried to warn them, and they just brushed you off. No wonder people either milk paychecks or walk away. So after being asked about the Japanese gamers sharing their own criticism of Ask Creed Shadows, the developer said the criticism that criticism hasn't been talked about, and Ubisoft only issued demands that we mustn't engage with discussion on that topic publicly. They knew they fucked up. Like, yeah, don't even acknowledge this because it's not going to end well. It's not unheard of. Firewalk Studios and Sensor Station engage in a similar practice with Concord. After significant backlash to a game being showcased during the State of Play at the end of May, Firewalk Studios director of IP, Kim Cranes, eventually addressed it in an interview with VGC nearly a month later. She told VGC, yeah, that trailer, that moment is such a tiny slice of everything we've been working on for years and years. We're really excited for the game and the IP and for the game to be in people's hands, the IP to be in people's hands. Just brushing off all the criticism. It's no big deal. This is just a small fraction of what we're doing anyway. She continued, I'm personally very excited for the IP for folks to delve into the Galactic Guide if that's something they choose to do. For these vignettes to come out on a weekly basis, you'll start to fall in love with the depth of these characters. That's something you learn week to week. Their personalities unfold, their relationships unfold, and for you, their backstories. None of that is something you can get in a tiny little slice of it. They released 2 of them before the game shut down. To be fair, they put a lot of work into those cinematics. The cinematics on a technical level looked pretty good. Too bad all that talent was wasted. But that's a start. Cranes added. There's something there. I'm glad folks watched it. I'm glad they participated. I can't wait for them to see more, to see everything that is there. They saw everything and they were disappointed. So not only did Ubisoft developers share that the company ignores criticism it receives to its own detriment, but Legendary Drops also asked about Ubisoft's commitment to diversity and inclusion in the workplace. The developers shared so far those initiatives had no impact on the team I'm a part of. However, it's clear that some topics are taboo. What's happened is that now people end up in a meeting with HR for trivial stuff and not adding a smiley in a message and adding an exclamation point at the end of a message. Wow, really? Yeah, that's a company you don't want to be working for. Oh, you didn't put a smiley face at the end of your message, and that exclamation mark made it look like you were yelling at us. That is unacceptable. Leave that place immediately, because some people are reporting it for harassment. No, why isn't it common practice yet to start charging these people that report everyone for harassment? Because I think that constantly reporting everything for harassment should be considered a form of harassment. And one of the things that wasn't in your video is that Ubisoft had some controversy during the Pound Me Too period, letting go of managers in high positions, and so some left of their own before they would be discovered, the developer added. They never would have had this problem if they didn't hire whammons. When asked how this changed the editorial direction of the company and its games, the developer stated, the editorial direction and overall mindset shifted from the boys club to safe content. Yeah, now right there, next time you hear someone using boys club as an insult, remember that when gaming was a boys club, they made good games. Now that it's not a boys club anymore, all the games suck ass. Bring back the boys club. The reaching for a plain character in character K in Star Wars is a perfect example. The idea to have a beautiful character such as Baldur's Gate or Uncharted is met with distrust. You could have had way better examples than that, but okay. I mean, it's better than K. He added safe content leads to a limited opportunity on the gameplay side. Even for Soy Wars, we had to work with Disney, which would have shut down most attempts at depicting true criminal underworld with cruelty and drama. God damn, even the criminals have to be family friendly. Actually, no, speaking of that, like, yeah, look at Jabba there. Damn, man, remember that? That was like one of the first fucking scenes in Return of the Jedi. Jabba dropped that Twi'lek dancer, and who then got brutally eaten. Remember that? They didn't show any of it, but that was pretty brutal. That happened. Oh, Jabba saved the rebels and outlaws. That's actually kind of funny. I like Jabba as a character, but they shouldn't make him a good guy. The developer was then asked what has been the message from management to staff about Ubisoft's declining sales, and what do they believe is the reason behind it? That's a damn good question. Why do you guys think you're failing? It's a good way to see if they actually have learned anything or not. He responded, the fun fact is they don't talk much about it. They mainly focus on the fact that they reached their financial objectives. Well, line went up as much as we said it would. But what about when they don't reach their financial objectives? Like, didn't they have to downgrade their outlook by like 30%? I don't think that's reaching your financial objectives. So mainly achieved through casual player sales, not vocal gamer community. They are that are really sick of what you described in the video. Also, something to know is that throughout the years, the number of management floors has increased to a ridiculous amount. So communication is often blurry unless they come directly from HR. And then it's almost always entirely corpo bullshit that isn't useful in the end. That's pretty much every corpo communication. Yeah. So another Ubisoft developer appeared to corroborate this information and informed Legendary Drops Ubisoft as an employer shows little regard for its developers. What happens in practice is they essentially push out senior engineers, promoting junior developers to senior roles after just a few years of experience, often with experience in just one engine. Meanwhile, experienced developers with far broader skills are being overlooked. Yeah, because they're more expensive. Yeah, they figure, this senior engineer costs as much as 3 of the juniors. Why don't we just replace him with one of the juniors? I'm sure they could figure out how to make this work. This constant cycle of turnover with inexperienced leaders to a noticeable drop. I think they meant led to a noticeable drop in quality, with more bugs appearing in their games. The developer continued. The passionate this is the important part. This is the part I've been saying so many times. The passionate, dedicated developers leave while those who are just going through the motions stay behind. This doesn't just affect the tech and quality of the game, but also impacts design and creativity. Isn't this exactly what I've been saying? Yeah, this is why I said the only people left in this industry now are the people that have no talent, so they can't get another job, and those that are milking paychecks. Those that were passionate, I mean, there might be a few of them left as they cycle them, but the passionate people burn out really quick. Well, once they find out the truth of the industry, they don't stick around. For instance, you'll find designers working on FPS mechanics that have never played an FPS, or engineers don't understand how the mechanics they're building are supposed to feel. There's a lack of passion and skills across the board, and the results are obvious. And that's how you end up with games that feel like that control like they come fresh out of an assets pack, because they probably did. Yeah, this is what happens when you get developers that don't know or care or like a specific genre working on that genre. But hey, they'll do it because they're getting paid. They're going to go through the motions. They're going to milk that paycheck. But you're not getting any masterpieces out of them. You drove away the dedicated, passionate people that could have led the teams and created masterpieces. But hey, at least your failures are incredibly diverse. So you could at least be happy you met that quota. So good job there, I guess. In the meantime, keep chasing away your most talented people. I'm sure they'll land on their feet. All the rest of you, though, yeah, when these big corporations start going out of business, we're going to be seeing a massive uptick in all these engineers and all these developers claiming that they were one of the good ones and they just need another chance. Now, you know how you're going to get another chance? You're going to have to prove yourselves. No one's going to take a chance on you. It's too risky. You need to prove yourselves. You need to start your own studios first and put out some decent games. And then once you have a track record of putting out a few decent games under your own studios, then you can talk about getting hired by someone else. But as long as you're fresh out of these corrupt AAA studios, no one's going to want to hire you. You're going to have to work on your own. It's your only choice. We'll see how passionate and talented these people really are really soon.